Hey guys, this is One Piece King here today. Technically this is actually gonna be separate from the games and stuff at this point because I believe I just talked about that like yesterday or the day before or something. But yeah, really just, that's probably gonna be a different video to talk about really. Because we're still waiting on news with that. But anywho though, this is actually gonna be a video about the scabbards and everything, basically what I feel about, this character and basically what I think is gonna be, more of the future for this character, you know. So the character that I'm gonna be talking about, it was just revealed in the recent chapter that we just got. Uh it's in fact Denjiro. Okay, it's in fact Denjiro. My boy Denjiro went through like an absolute just nightmare. That's what he went through, okay? The dude, for like God knows how long. It looks like he's been through it, for like a few years and everything. He's been through like so much rage. He hates himself to the point where it's like I could have done something, but instead we had to run. It's like why didn't Odin let us, stay and fight? We could have done it, like Denjiro would have not backed down. I'm pretty sure he would have not backed down. He would have been like, we gotta do it, we gotta move, like we basically have to win, but it was just Denjiro couldn't do it. Denjiro was just like, I feel so upset at myself. I feel so upset, so angry at myself at the same time. He just really is holding in all the guilt and everything, even though it wasn't really his fault. It was more like Odin wanted to go out the way he wanted to, basically, because he knew his time was coming pretty soon, and that was the, you know, go to shove right there. But it's just when I look at all the other ones, basically like how they all felt and basically what they've been through. They've been through some bad stuff, but then you go to Denjiro. Denjiro's been through it the worst. All right, dude. Literally, like not only the rage part, to the point where his face, like his facial structure broke. It's all crooked and different this time. You know, well, I wouldn't say crooked, but it's definitely not his same face anymore. It's all changed. Um, but Denjiro, not only that, but he has to go and work with Orochi for most of his life right now and everything, and he hates doing that because he's looking at him and he's like, "You're the man that took away our leader. Basically, you took away Odin from us. You're not." It's like what's going through his head. He just wants to go and just on Orochi. He just wants to go and just take him out right then and there, but you know, at first people are starting to think, why didn't he do that all those years that he's been waiting? He had like basically he had millions of opportunities to do it. But apparently in the chapter of what it explains is that Denjiro believes in the prophecy of Toki, Odin's wife, that basically it's like a dawn of a new era. It will rise again. The Kozukis will come back. So Denjiro believed it. He's like, I'll take your word for it. I will take your word for it, milady. I will. And now I sit and wait for 20 years. That's what I do. But for those 20 years though, it's like that's like his that that is like his true pain right there. That is Denjiro's true pain. you know, and there's a speculation of what I think could happen in the next chapter. I believe the flashback is over. Everyone is believing the flashback is finally over because we finally basically just got a lot of stuff revealed to us. You know, whenever Denjiro, is Kyoshiro, technically though, like some people actually thought of that theory in the beginning and stuff. Except we didn't get too much info on that. They just easily assumed it was like Denjiro is Kyoshiro, no doubt about it. Me, how I look at it and everything, I gave it some time because I'm like, well, I don't want to say that yet. We got the flashback of a young Denjiro, this Denjiro, I believe, was like 8 or 10 years old. And he was an orphan. He was he was an orphan child in the country. But the thing what the young Denjiro did and everything, this 10 or 8 year old Denjiro, the thing of what he did is that he basically was pretty smart. He kind of played, he basically played with the minds of people that would go and like sell stuff for money, or even, have you like buy stuff and everything with gold or copper. Denjiro completely just, kind of messes with people with that and basically gets himself more money, and Denjiro is pretty smart. And that's why I kind of look at that like, Denjiro, yeah, Denjiro is really good with, like the money stuff and everything. He's really good with that. I look back at Kiyoshiro. He's kind of like that too because he's a Yakuza leader. That's what he is. He's the head of the Yakuza. And, at first I don't know, like at first I didn't know what that term meant. But by playing the Spider-Man 3, well not Spider-Man 3, but the Spider-Man PS4 DLC, well, I mean, I think they did use yeah, I think they did use yakuza in there. They did use the term head yakuza in there. But basically it means like more money, more power, that you basically get to own, territory, or I guess even the whole, land area that you live in. In this case with Wano though, if you were the head yakuza leader, basically Wano is what you own and no one can tell you otherwise, because if they do, well, it's not gonna be very happy for them. Um, you know, but I kind of connected that together, and my first thought is like, Denjiro has to be Kyoshiro. There's no doubt about it. And then, and then basically, a friend of mine though, because we were talking about this, he was like, "That's a good point to say. It really is, because throwing in how we got, we just got the reveal of, who Denjiro really looks like, not currently. This was like chapters way back before we got this one. But this goes way back and everything to whenever we got the young Denjiro, the first reveal of him, because we knew who Denjiro, was and everything. Like he was one of the scabbards. Never really knew what his actual, like what he actually looked like 20 years later. And a lot of people were thinking like he looks really cool. He's still got, the shades. He's still got the ponytail, and he's still pretty awesome looking. Boy, people really, boy, people didn't really think that through, because now that we got this, they're really starting to think like, he doesn't have his shades anymore. He doesn't have the shades. His ponytail is somewhat gone, sort of. It's more of just in this way, like, it's kind of like the frontward instead of the backward way, like it's supposed to. It's like, something doesn't seem right here. Um, yeah, and he looks a lot different with that and everything. But yeah, but my first thought was that, Denjiro was Kiyoshiro because of that reason. But then he was trying to help me, look at a different perspective, that he could also be somebody else. And then I'm like, maybe he can't be Kiyoshiro then, now that you mention it. And then I look at the Witching Hour Boy, basically. We don't really know who that is and everything. And if the Witching Hour Boy was more their own character, which at first I was like, maybe Denjiro is that guy? Or maybe the Witching Hour Boy is his own character and Denjiro is his own character too, and everything, like, completely. But then, like I said with the recent chapter, it's kind of all connects together now and everything, because I didn't really think about that and everything for a second. And the thing of what it is, uh, Kiyoshiro is called the napping Kiyoshiro. Like, he likes to sleep a lot, he likes to nap. The reason being is because he doesn't get a lot of sleep. Dude doesn't get a lot of sleep. It seems like, he stays up in the middle of the night, and like people didn't add the dots with that and be like, wait, why is, like, at first it's like, why is Kiyoshiro the Witching Hour Boy in that sense? But then whenever, it makes sense that Denjiro is this person altogether, like he's Kiyoshiro, the head Yakuza leader, but he's also, the right-hand man of Orochi. But, he's also the Witching Hour Boy. Denjiro's a lot of things. He's been through a lot of stuff, you know. And with the speculation of what I have for the next chapter, though, I'm really thinking Denjiro is gonna come in clutch and everything. Denjiro is gonna be the MVP. He's gonna be the MVP scabbard, that literally comes in and just literally just brings everybody together, because from where we left off before the flashback ever started, the scabbards are all standing there and everything. It's just, like basically the sea route to get to Onigashima, the castle. It's all, stormy and everything. Like the waves are all wavy looking and everything. Like basically old style looking waves and stuff. Kind of like whenever we've got the entrance to Wano basically. That's how the waves, looked and everything. And I'm like, like they kind of got that same, style right there and everything too. So that's pretty cool. Well, it's like that, anyway and stuff, because I believe that's what it was like in the beginning, for the manga in the Wano arc. But anywho, though, um, but I think the storm will probably like clear up, and then it's just a shining light, and it's like all the rebellion ships are just coming in and everything, and of course, and of course you got like, basically Luffy and his whole group and everything just ready to be like, yes, like the plan worked basically. They were like all of Orochi's men, they were fooled. So now we actually get to deliver a sneak attack basically. But the one that will be in front of the main ship, the first ship that will sail and everything. I'm pretty sure that's gonna be a ship for the scabbards too. But the one that I think is gonna be on the front of that ship is gonna be Denjiro or Kiyoshiro or whatever. And at first, whenever the scabbards will notice it, they will kind of question, like, wait, the guy worked for Orochi, why is he helping us? And then, once they get on board the ship with, Kiyoshiro, Denjiro, they will understand the situation on who he really is, and then, you know, I guess they'll probably make him start questioning, like, what happened to you, my friend? Like, seriously, what happened to you? You don't look the same, you lost your glasses, like you lost your shades. Where's your ponytail? You know? And it'll just be like Denjiro will have to explain himself like it's a long story, my friends, but let's just say the only answer for this is rage. Okay? It's a beast called rage. And this is what happened to me for like so many years. It happened so long and everything that it just came to the point where I had a plan. I will follow through with this plan. I still waited for the rest of you, to all reunite together. And this plan will work. Like, Denjiro is the one that probably is really smart, and basically coming up with this plan and everything. Kinemon and the others are smart too. But once you got Denjiro in there, Denjiro, like I said, in the flashback, when he was, the orphan and everything, Denjiro was the smartest one out of the rest. He was the one that played. He would play, with people's minds basically, and basically be like, yeah, you see, I'm gonna do this for you and everything, but I'm gonna need the little bit of this and everything. I'm gonna need a little bit of, gold to do that. It's like, really? It's like, why didn't you say so? Hand them the gold. He says, goodbye and everything. Like, next time I see you and everything, you'll have it then. And then, they'll be like, yeah. But then they realize they don't really, they're not really gonna, see him again. Or whenever they do see him again, it's the same cycle repeating itself, in which they would be like, wait, what just happened? Like, they gave the only gold to the kid. And be like, what? But Denjiro, though, in this instance, though, would be like, but yeah, Denjiro, though, in this instance, would basically be like, alright, I know it looks like I fooled all of y'all and everything, that's funny, but in this instance, though, I must apologize, I didn't reveal myself much sooner, because, Denjiro would explain what he's been doing and everything, on why he left, and what, his whole goal was the entire time, in which Doji and Kawamatsu would be like, so that's what you've been doing? It's like, man, they probably would shed tears for Denjiro. They'd probably give that man a hug. Give Denjiro, give that man a hug, please. Like, I feel like that's what he needs and everything. Like, after the whole war is over, after the whole battle, Denjiro, I believe, would need some peace. Like, that dude would just need some peace. Like, give that man a cup of tea. Give that man a cup of green tea, alright? Like, it's the one was the Japanese, style and everything. So green tea would be more fitting of a calm, relaxed mind. Give that man some green tea, please. Like, that's what Denjiro really needs, alright? He needs some green tea. He needs some long, rest and everything. He needs some sleep. Like, then, like, technically, like, rightfully sleeping during, the night and then waking up during the day. And then hopefully they can go and fix something for him and everything, with this face. I don't know if I don't know if there's gonna be something for that to fix or if he's gonna stay like that in the end. But Denjiro, though, pretty smart. He played it pretty smart all those years, and it was just none of his other scabbards ever suspected that at all. They never suspected, like, taking a single look at him and they're just like, wait a minute. It's like that aura I feel, this power, it feels familiar, Like, Kinemon would probably recognize it for a second and be like, Denjiro? Like, my friend, is that you? But no, it seemed like, they couldn't tell and everything because it's like he really concealed himself and everything. By everything, Denjiro concealed himself so nobody would know who he really is. Hiyori is the only one that knows because, she ran from, she ran away, but I believe it was to do Kawamatsu some justice right there to basically help himself, even though his job was to go and protect, the girl, himself, or herself, basically, but the point is, though, Kawamatsu had a job. Hiyori felt really bad and everything for the whole situation, but also for him because, he'd be sacrificing everything for her, but she feels like he needs something too. So that's why she left, and basically trying to be like, look, we'll have the battle, we'll have the battle ready whenever it's time, but I just want you to have your strength too, Kawamatsu. You need to get yourself in, good checking order while we wait and everything. And I guess that's why Kawamatsu went off to do his mission to go and gather weapons, and I'm pretty sure that was a good idea, though, on his part, I'm pretty sure that was a good idea on Kawamatsu's part. Pretty good, you know? But for Denjiro, though, dude literally was like the most smartest person in the country, though, out of all the scabbards. The smartest, alright? He knew what to do. I'm pretty sure, the minute he got out of this temple in Hakumai, basically, because it was like just this freaking abandoned temple or whatever. He's been sitting in there for the entire time, just being mad at himself and everything, feeling guilty. But then, I'm pretty sure whenever he was done with all that and he got out, he's thinking to himself the plan, and basically it's like, it's gonna happen. It may take, I don't know if this is gonna be really easy to do, but this plan will take, exactly, the 20 years from now. That's what's gonna happen. It will take 20 years from this point. Denjiro is basically just, thinking about it, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. This is my plan, though. The others don't know, but this is my plan. Alright? They'll follow through with it later when we all meet up again. But this is gonna be my plan right now, okay? The prophecy, I'll believe, because it's true. I do not deny, Lady Toki. I don't deny her prophecy. I don't deny anything of my fellow brethren. I do not deny any of it at all. And so, yeah, Denjiro goes on his mission. He goes and does, what exactly he has planned out to do. And for those 20 years going by and everything that he's been doing this, Denjiro then becomes Kiyoshiro, he gets all the fame on him and everything. He becomes Orochi's right-hand man, sitting right there. he doesn't enjoy it, but it's like, basically he's kind of like telling to himself, it's like, the plan is coming very close. It's coming to an end at this point and everything. Because basically, once the plan all sits out right here and everything, the battle, the war starts. Yeah, Orochi, you're gonna fall. You're gonna fall. Kaido's gonna fall. And Lord Momonosuke, he's gonna sit exactly on the throne where he belongs. Okay, because Odin can't do it, but his son can do it, and we all believe in him. You know. So yeah, basically Denjiro's already got the mindset like this plan is gonna work. I don't see any failures in this because, it seems like basically that Orochi is more of a fool. He doesn't really suspect a thing. Although he's, creating the paranoia in himself. But the most funniest thing is though is that, the paranoia could also be looked at as like, that's just typical Orochi. Don't, like we'll listen to him and stuff, but just play along with it and everything. Orochi doesn't know exactly what he's talking about. Like, he really doesn't. That's basically what Denjiro or the alias Kiyoshiro is playing at basically. Calling Orochi a coward, and basically saying like, look, that dude's paranoia is too much basically. That dude needs to relax. The Kozukis are gone, alright? They're gone. They're no longer here anymore in this country. We got rid of them. You need to chill, Orochi. You need to chill. And that's what Denjiro Kiyoshiro is trying to do. I'm gonna keep saying that because you get it. But, yeah, but basically he's trying to get, Orochi to chill and not have that paranoia. Orochi won't listen because he's gonna probably suspect him with that, but it's like, but Denjiro Kiyoshiro basically is like trying to, still have the plan waited out. And, like now that it's coming very close and everything, it's like, can't wait for this to happen. Cannot wait for this to happen. And, I'm like, now that we also got, yeah, it was before the flashback ever started though. There was actually information though that the citizens in the Bakura district, they even stated out that the witching hour boy somehow didn't come this night. He didn't come this time, and they're wondering why. So yeah, I'm already thinking like, I'm thinking Kiyoshiro, I'm thinking Kiyoshiro Denjiro in that instance is actually, he probably is walking around and everything. Probably still trying to be disguised and everything. Not, well, probably as the Witching Hour boy, though, at the same time, because, but in that same instance, though, I'm pretty sure with, with his plan in the end of that, created the diversion, basically, because this was what Tekken was talking about in his video. Was that, maybe that it was Kiyoshiro, the one that, created, basically it looked like, that all the ships and everything was, gone and destroyed and everything. But that's a diversion, making it look like, to Orochi that they won. The Kozuki's rebellion is no longer happening. Everyone is taken out, and Orochi can basically just, have a peace of mind for himself. But what he doesn't know is that, Kiyoshiro Denjiro basically, already has the ships ready and they're already headed straight for that way. They're already heading straight for it. They're already heading straight for Onigashima. I'm pretty sure it confused Luffy and Zoro for a second, especially Zoro, because Zoro's like, wait, I clashed with you for a second and everything, you basically kind of blocked my attack at Orochi. Why did you do that when you could have easily allowed me to do it? I'm pretty sure that would come up, as an interaction between those two. Denjiro's response would probably be like, alright, look, I can't raise any suspicion to Orochi. I can't. Because if I allowed it to happen, a simple little mistake, he probably wouldn't have me called out and be like, you're one of those Kozukis. Freaking I knew it. Get him! And basically be like, yeah, that would basically be a fight I have to go and take care of and everything, because it's like concealing the identity of who I truly am all this time. I do one little screw up and everything, like one little suspicion hint, to him, like I'm basically done, and pretty much Zoro would probably understand it and be like, good point, good point. It's like, all right, but when we just clashed, when we clashed swords and everything, like we just clashed, like way earlier. I could sense some pretty strong power in you. You got some pretty strong hockey for a man like yourself. It's like, yeah, it's like you can't underestimate the power of the scabbards. You really can't. It's like, really can't. We've seen how your other buddies have fought before, and pretty much they didn't do too bad. They actually did pretty good. And probably would surprise even Denjiro, like, wait, they traveled with you? It's like, yep, they traveled with us and everything, and that's how we brought them here. It's like, amazing. Like, Denjiro would probably be like, amazing. It's like, who are you people? It's like, Luffy, would you please? It's like, yeah, it's like, my name's Luffy, and this is, my friends, we're the Straw Hats. And I'm gonna be king of the pirates. And Denjiro probably would be like, King of the Pirates, huh? It's like, that awfully sounds familiar. Like, thinking back with, Odin and Roger, basically, Yeah, like, thinking back with Odin and Roger and everything, because I'm pretty sure they'd get, like, Odin would tell them the news of that and basically be like, yeah, this was what my adventure was and everything, or even Togi explaining it, too. Because, Togi and them had to get dropped back off and everything at Wano, but yeah, so either one probably would have explained the whole story with how the adventures with Roger went out and everything and how he became king of the pirates in the end, and so with Denjiro it probably would go through his mind like looking at Luffy and be like, it's like, Odin actually was with a certain man that even said and became the same thing, and of course Luffy would know, be like, you mean Roger? It's like, the very man, the very same. It is him. It's like, cool. It's like, do you guys know much about him? It's like, all we knew was that Odin pretty much was like friends with him and everything, like those two were literally like brothers in arms. That's what they were. But I can't really say much because I haven't really known too much about the man. I was more, dealing with the stuff in this country over here. It's like, okay. At least that's what I got to know and everything, is that it seemed like Roger was like a really awesome guy and basically a brother to everybody. It's like, pretty much. Like basically Odin talked good about him all the time. Like literally, we were all sitting down, like we're all sitting down together and everything, and ever since Odin came back, and Odin's just telling us the story of, Odin's just telling us the story of his grand adventures with Roger and talking about how good he was and how it was like this man was so unpredictable that every single thing that he did was like, you couldn't even imagine what he did. It was just so amazing, and all the scabbards are basically like kind of just, being confused, like, what exactly do you mean, Odin? It's like, I can't really explain it. It's like, you have to be just like me. You have to be outside of this country with someone like that man to understand, to understand like what I've seen and what I felt about, that man. You know, and basically they still would all be confused, but basically agree with Odin and basically just, roll along with it. They'd be like, well, okay then. But I think, later on it comes to, play like, yeah, it comes to play in the future later on. Because Kinemon and Kanjuro, Kinemon and Kanjuro basically, basically they rode on the same ship with Luffy and his group. So basically they understand like what Odin meant and everything, because it's like with Luffy, he also does things that is like you can never predict what he's gonna do. So basically Kinemon and Kanjuro just kind of look at the same way as how Odin looks at Roger, and they look at, Luffy the same way, and they start to think to themselves like, that's what Odin meant. It's like, this kid, this kid is basically like a Roger, and we're like Odin. It's like we're seeing what he's seeing in this kid, and Contra would agree, be like, yeah, it's like Odin's right. Someone like him is basically being like unpredictable. We can't really know what he's gonna do. Like he could be pulling off something really cool, like basically saving a country, basically, in which he kind of did. But they wouldn't even know that. They would be like, what exactly is this kid's goal right now? Oh, it's like all I want to do is just beat up Kaido, and that's it. They'd kind of just jaw drop and be like, you do realize, like, that sounds so simple. It's like, yep. Like, that's Luffy. He would just be like, yep. That's as simple as it's gonna get. And Kinemon and Kanjo would just look at Luffy like, why did we travel along with this kid? It's like, why did we do that? But then, yeah, they start thinking throughout most of the adventures they went with Luffy and everything. They just look back on that and be like, that's why. It's like, that's why we follow with this kid. Because, we're never gonna know or tell what he's gonna do. Because he could just do something really cool, and we'll never know about it. Or never know about it, like, beforehand, because he does it later. Like, we're never gonna know. But, yeah. But, literally, though, next chapter, thank God that we don't have a break next week, though. But next chapter, though, Denjiro MVP. I can already literally just feel that already. I can feel Denjiro's already just gonna be coming in, finally revealing himself to be, like his true identity of who he really is. The Scabbards will know, Luffy and his group will know, everybody that is with the rebellion will know, they'll be happy, and they'll be like, man, it's like we thought you were gone. It's like, yeah, and I thought you guys were gone too, and everything, but realizing none of y'all really went, none of y'all really, like, kind of just went your separate ways, or got captured, or just, got taken away. I'm glad I still have all of you here. It's like, we feel the same. We feel like we've lost you. It's like, yeah, I feel like I've lost all y'all too, but hey, putting that aside, let's get to the main goal, because the plan only begins here, like, I already got through, like, the first phase of the plan, and I already got through phase 2 and 3. This is phase 4, alright? Because we're already back together again, all 9 of us, so this is phase 4, and Denjiro would start explaining the plan of what they're gonna do, and then that's gonna be how the chapter ends and everything. Like, Denjiro explains the plan, but then it's like a really big moment where Denjiro's just gonna be like, and this is gonna be the final phase. This is gonna be the end. This is gonna be the end of the plan that I've had going on for so many years, the 20 years. This is it. This is the final phase. And the final phase, we'll probably have everybody go, huh? Like a huge huh? And then that's the end of the chapter. Like, I feel that's what's gonna happen. Just Denjiro comes in, he gets everybody all gathered together, the rebellion and his scabbards, his friends. He explains the plan to them and everything, of what, the phases of his plan, of what he's been going through, and then the final phase of the plan that he's had, of what, not just him, but the rebellion is, gonna do. Like, that's what they're gonna be doing, all that. And, just everyone will go, huh? And then end of the chapter right there. Probably gonna have a break, probably, I'm sure. We're probably gonna get a break, because we're gonna be, well, actually, either we're gonna get a break or we're not. If we don't get a break, end of Act 3 right there. End of Act 3, like, literally. Actually, yeah, that would actually be a good way to actually end Act 3 and everything. It's like Kiyoshiro explains the plan, they go, huh, and the narrator would be like, the final battle is, truly beginning, and the final phase of, and the final phase of the plan will begin, Act 3 end. That's how you end the chapter. Boom. That's how you end it. And then, we'll cut off to see what other parts of the world, like, what's going on. But yeah, I pretty much, have just all that and everything, I really feel more for Denjiro and everything. Denjiro will be MVP throughout this entire arc, alright? Out of all the scabbards, Denjiro is gonna be the one delivering, like, the most awesome moments ever. Like, I could already feel he's delivering one next chapter. He's gonna be coming in, just, we gotta wait. We gotta wait for, this Friday and everything, for the next chapter to come in. I really feel it. So, yeah. But anyway, though, this will be the end of the video right here. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, leave a like on the video, and comment down below of your thoughts of, how you feel about Denjiro, and basically, what do you think, is gonna basically be like what's happening in the next chapter? Like, will it be exactly as I said it? Like exactly the scenario, or will it be something else where it's like, Denjiro doesn't really become a part of it yet, but it's like, he gets the rebellion all together, and they come, through for the scabbards and everything, and it's like Denjiro, yeah, but it's like Denjiro is basically like, Denjiro basically is just, like, he's still around somewhere, but he's probably just sitting there waiting and everything, still for his friends and everything, because he knows they're there. He already knows they're there, but it's like, until you cross over to this castle, my friends, I will fight alongside you again, but this time, it's like, we'll have to wait, you know. Like, just waiting, like, a few minutes or seconds and everything. Just a few minutes, or even an hour. It's okay, Like, we'll pull through this together. But, but I really hope so and everything. But anywho, though, I hope all you have a wonderful day, night, morning. Don't really care for time zones. But I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!